All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan, and Hit Wilders has just destroyed Islam in the Dutch parliament. This is obviously AI dubbing. Hit Wilders doesn't speak with an American accent.
Mr. Speaker, if we do not act now, we will lose our country. I have said this for more than 20 years, and polls confirm it. The vast majority of Dutch people believe Islam does not belong in the Netherlands. Not only a large majority of Dutch people, but also a large majority of nearly all major political parties in this House. It is not a religion of peace, no matter how often the liberal church preaches it. It is a totalitarian and violent ideology that seeks subjugation and domination. And wherever Islam takes root, oppression follows, chaos, death, and destruction. We see terrorist attacks. We see rising anti-Semitism. We see hatred of Jews. We see hatred of women. We see homophobia. We see honor killings and a deep aversion to all that is free, modern, and Western. Recently again, here in the Netherlands, 15 people were arrested by the police who, via TikTok, incited others to commit terror offenses in the Netherlands in support of the Islamic State.
Let me guess. All of them Muslims, not Hindus, not Buddhists, not Vietnamese, no other nationality or culture, not Native Americans, not Mexican drug cartels. You can pick any demography you want. No one comes remotely close to this culture, to Islam. Why is it? I mean, the penny dropped on September 11, 2001, and we still didn't learn anything. If anything, it got considerably worse after that. I was listening to someone, since 2001, there have been close to 60,000 Islamic-inspired terrorist attacks all over the world, mostly in the Muslim world. But 60,000 terrorist attacks. 60 freaking thousand. I remember in Pakistan, close to 100,000 people died in several thousand terrorist attacks, and there is just about to be another wave of terrorist attacks inside Pakistan, because I was listening to the Taliban and they were saying, well, Pakistan has missiles and nukes. We've got an army of suicide bombers. Both Muslims. What is it about this ideology that just wants to kill, kill, kill? Let me tell you what is it about this ideology. This is about this ideology.
They think life begins. We believe that death begins.
He fucked up there. He didn't know what he was saying.
We believe that life begins at death. We don't care about death. We love death.
They love death. That's what they do. They love death.
Mr. Speaker, Islam poisons our society from within. Indeed, now. It is now the largest religion in the Netherlands among people under 25 years. Already, if we do not act with blistering urgency, Islam will, within approximately 2 decades, become the single largest religion in all of the Netherlands. Then there will be substantially larger numbers of Muslims than Christians in the Netherlands.
I was talking to a couple of average Aussies. Actually, one of them was a POM. And sorry, I had to say it to him, I was like, mate, you left England and you moved to Australia, and you're going to tell me nothing bad is going to happen to Australia if 8 or 9% of Australia becomes Muslim. Look what happened to England. He didn't even know about the state of Tower Hamlets or East London or Bradford or Manchester or Birmingham. As long as everything's fine. But it's like, why do you people live in white areas then? If everything's fine, why do you people live in white areas? And the other guy was an Aussie. And he got teed off. He said, oh, why Christianity? Why does it have to be a Christian country? I said, I don't care about Christianity the way you think I do. I am not a Christian, but I can acknowledge that Australia would be a very different country if it wasn't Christian. Imagine if Australia was colonized by Indonesia. It would have been a Muslim country. What kind of a Muslim country it would have been? Just pick any Muslim country. The UAE, maybe? Saudi Arabia, maybe? What kind of freedoms do they have over there? Certainly nothing like a Western liberal democracy. Or maybe if you're really hopeful, you think, well, maybe we could be like Turkey. Turkey has got bikini-clad women and parties and nightclub and whatnot. Turkey maintained it for a very long time, but ever since Erdogan came, look, The First Lady wears a hijab. They're trying to raise a new pious generation, although it's backfiring because Islam just cannot survive in the 21st century. But just imagine what Kurt Wilders just said. It's going to be a majority religion in 20 years' time. What do you mean by that? What do these liberals actually imagine? We've already got gay bashing happening in Muslim areas in Western countries, whether that's America, Britain, or Sydney. We've already got no-go zones where women who don't wear the hijab get stared at, sexually harassed, intimidated. What do you think will happen when 40% of your country is Muslim? And it's not just the population that's Muslim. They'll have representation in parliament. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to pass laws like, in Muslim areas, no woman should enter without a hijab. And you know what? A lot of people will bend the knee. They're already bending the knee. And then they would say that we need permission to block off certain areas, which they already do. I don't know why our councils bend over backwards to them and say, hey, you know what? You can pray in front of Westminster Abbey. You can pray inside Buckingham Palace. Why do they do that? They bend over backwards. If we are bending over backwards to them, when their numbers are not even that threatening, they're about 8% in the UK. I don't know about the Netherlands, probably about 10, maybe 7, 8, 9% over there. If we are already bending over backwards for them on this scale, what do you think is going to happen when they're 40%? I am yet to hear a sensible response from any Muslim. The first go-to position is, oh, no, you're fear-mongering. They're only 8%. They're not going to be 50% by 2040. So first of all, you acknowledge that it would be a bad thing if they become 40% by 2050, because your immediate reaction is not that, so what? Your immediate reaction is, oh, no, that will not happen. So you acknowledge it happening is a bad thing for everyone. So let's just agree on that. Why do you acknowledge that it's going to be a bad thing? So you agree that Islam is not compatible with Western values? We don't have enough time, guys. Every Western country, especially European countries, we don't have enough time. 20 years are going to go like that. My last 20 years, I have no idea where they went. I still feel like I'm a young man, like I just came out of uni, but I'm not. Our world has changed a lot in the last 20 years. Some would say it's not even recognizable. 2008 was the last time Australian budget was in surplus, and then GFC hit, and we kind of wrote it off. But I just found out yesterday, for nearly 18 years, we've been in a deficit, and now we are $1 trillion in debt. Until 2008, Australia was one of the only countries that was debt-free. When I was watching this video the other day, I was like, oh, my mental picture was still that, we are a prosperous country and we are not in debt. But sorry, for the last 18 years, we've been accumulating debt. And no wonder people are struggling. No wonder people are saying that we cannot climb onto the property ladder. Things change before our eyes. And when you're in the thick of it, you don't realize it. So in 2008 and 9, the whole world was going through the GFC, and we were like, oh, we're fine in Australia. We are immune to any global financial crisis. I guess my point is things change very rapidly.
I think that is truly a nightmare indeed. A nightmare of barbarity, rooted in the appalling example. All those Muslims worship the Prophet Muhammad, worshipped by about 2 billion Muslims worldwide. But the life of that prophet was a stark string of brutal violence, murder, and pedophilia. Mr. Chairman, this country is not for fake prophets or imams. It is also not the country of asylum seekers at all. It is not the country of left-liberal multiculturalists who hate our shared identity. This country is certainly not owned by Rob Jetton. This country truly belongs to the Dutch people. It is the land of our youth and must remain the land of our children. A country founded on Judeo-Christian civilization, not on the suffocating desert laws from Mecca. So, for that reason as well, our borders must be closed. Should we emphasize remigration, making it voluntary but also mandatory for criminals, profiteers, and illegal immigrants? We must close Islamic schools without delay. And I also think that we should legally ban headscarves for underage Muslim girls nationwide. There must
Why does underage? See how nice we are? This is apparently the most evil man in the Muslim world. They issue him death threats in bulk, especially from Pakistan. He's saying we must put a hijab ban on underage girls. Do it across the board until every single Muslim country gives you in writing that a Western woman can wear Western clothes inside their countries. Until that happens, why do we have to be so nice? Why? You know, it's illegal to preach Christianity in almost every Muslim country. Why do we give visas to their violent, barbaric ideologues to come to our countries and poison the minds of our youth? Why? I understand in our system we have freedom to practice religion, freedom to preach, but that should be limited to our internal system. Those systemic values do not apply on people outside of that system, i.e. the Middle East. Kind of like Trump's tariffs, which I know they've been deemed illegal by the Supreme Court judgment. These things have to be reciprocal unless you want to be a loser.
Be a ban on the call to Islamic prayer, or better yet, on the construction of new mosques. Mr. Chairman, Prime Minister Jetton and my colleagues are not making these choices. They are doing nothing about the asylum tsunami, and they are facilitating the further Islamization of the Netherlands. That is why we, too, oppose, and many Dutch people join us. People who are tired of open borders, tired of the asylum tsunami, of the coercive law, of giving priority to asylum status holders over our homes, of turning our country into one big reception camp, of handing the Netherlands over to Islam.
So, you know, when I ask you, what do you think will happen when they become 40% of the population? They're currently at about 8 to 10% in France, Britain, maybe in the Netherlands, it'll be the same. Have a look at the intimidation tactics. Have a look at it. This is a Muslim man, probably an illegal migrant, shaming a Dutch man for eating during the month of Ramadan. He's shaming him.
زبارة يوضع أكسس والله شوف يكون حلو في ناس ما يظنش فهمت والله إيه ما بحكي.
What's your problem, bro? This is not a Muslim country. See, he's scared. There's no aggression in him because we have pussified our entire generation. Our generation has forgotten to stand up for itself. They avoid conflict. And again, I'm not blaming them. This is not this young man's fault. I think even this is very brave for him not to back down. But in the 90s, the world was a very different place. No migrant, no immigrant would have dared to challenge the native. And we didn't get to that stage accidentally. We got to that stage because our governments, our institutions, they pussified our men. They didn't stand by our men. And as a result, you don't want to go to jail. You don't want the police to arrest you instead.
Roger.
إيش معك ذيك ها؟
Thank you.
شخادة والله يا أختي شخادة.
I don't know if he said okay, meaning like, okay, I want to eat. I hope okay in Dutch means fuck off. Look at this. What will happen if they become 40, 50%? They're not even 40, 50%. Look what they do. This is Belgium. This Muslim man goes to this Belgian man who's eating during the month of Ramadan. And he harasses him, intimidates him in a very mafioso way. He's not aggressive. He's not shouting at him. But you get the gist. Why are you not doing Ramadan? None of your business. How about that?
Catholique.
Ah, t'es catholique.
Alors, et t'as un problème?
Hein?
T'as un problème?
Non, il n'y a pas de problème pour ça. C'était juste demandé parce que tu manges, quoi. C'est pourquoi je te demande si tu faisais pas le ramadan.
Does he look like a Muslim to you? You got to remember, again, they are not 40% yet. This is at 7 or 8%. This can be nipped in the bud if our institutions, if our police forces grow a spine, our politicians grow a spine. This nuisance can go away so quickly. Right now, it's loitering like a bad smell. All we have to do is turn the fan on. Boom. Blow them away.
Non.
Et t'en dis quoi pour le ramadan?
It's a shit practice. I don't like it. Not my thing.
Hein?
M'en fous. C'est pas ma religion.
Mais normalement, quand tu dois manger à l'intérieur, parce que nous, on fait le ramadan, on ne peut pas te voir.
We can see you. You should eat inside because we can see you.
En On ne doit pas te voir manger, tu vois.
There you go, he's going backing off now. Disabled
Merci.
man.
Tu vas aller manger à l'intérieur? Hein? Merci beaucoup. C'est gentil, merci.
See that? He harassed him, he bullied him, and the old disabled man, the elderly man, went back. Why are we allowing this? Why are we allowing this? Where are the men? Like, I'm sorry, guys. I am sorry. We need more men to step forward. Go to your neighbors. Every household has 1 or 2 men. Form WhatsApp groups. Communicate with each other. Create neighborhood watchdogs. Do something. This is embarrassing. That's why Goodwilder said what he said.